Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up? It's your girl V-Henny, man. You already know the vibes. Welcome to the Artistry, where we talk shit about music, entertainment, and the everyday struggles. And we have your girl, artist, model, actress, just an entrepreneur in itself, Aurea, in the building with me.
Yes.
How you feeling?
I feel so good. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for just being here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
You know, I want to do a toast because I definitely want to say congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much.
So toast to you, to the
Cheers.
good life, and you already know the vibes.
Yes.
You can never go wrong, bro. I'm telling you.
This is so good.
It really is. Listen, congratulations on everything, bro. Like, I was literally, like, reading up on you. Girl, you've accomplished a lot.
Yeah.
And your story is, that's what's, like, really inspiring. Your story, your come up, the fact that you continue pushing through the pain.
Mm-hmm.
I love stories like that because it shows you that if you can do it, others can as well.
Yes.
You know, so big applause to that. I love the fact that you're Latina from the Bronx.
Yes, sir.
I am from the Bronx as well.
Hey, really?
Yes.
Where? What part?
I moved around a lot, but 188 in Valentine.
Oh my God! I grew up on Fordham Road.
Did you?
I kid you not. Literally born and raised.
Where you from?
Fordham.
I mean, like the whole like where in Fordham?
Grand and Fordham.
Ooh, okay.
Like 184 and like Fordham Road on Grand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get the
Mom and Dad still live there.
Wow. Yeah, I went to Roosevelt. I went to MS-45.
Oh,
That's
no.
by White Castle.
Oh, I wanted to go to MS-45.
Did you?
But my mom stuck me in 399, which was previously 115.
Okay. It's all good.
It's all good. You know, I met beautiful people who are still in my life to this day from that school. So, you know, everything, I feel like everything is just the way it happens is supposed to happen. Like,
Yeah.
blessings nonetheless.
That's dope. Look at that. Dang, we were like neighbors.
I
in a
know.
sense. That's insane. That's it. Yeah, I just recently moved to Jersey. So
Okay.
Bronx all my life, you know. You know, what I love about the Bronx is the culture, like the fact that, you know, we have that whole, you know, because of hip hop being, you know, like stamped in the Bronx, you know, like it for me, it gives us no other choice but to dive in the arts in a sense. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
No, it absolutely makes sense. It's a part of who we are. You
Yeah.
know, it's all around us in the music, in the fashion, in the way we speak, and just like the way we carry ourselves. Like it is hip hop derived.
Yeah.
So I love that about our culture.
That's what's
You know,
up. That's
it's
dope.
definitely an inspiration. You know, I see Biggie Smalls and whatnot.
Yeah, all I'm missing is the big pun.
Yes,
pun.
Big Pun was
Yes.
major.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm slacking on that. Don't kill me, but nah, you know, I wanted to ask you, like, as a child, you know, come from the Bronx, again, reading your story, should I say, and you know, the fact that you dealt with a lot of challenges. How were
Yes.
you able to like
Oh,
really
man.
overcome certain challenges and still become still be a kid?
So I don't ever really think that I was a kid.
Okay.
In elementary school, I had teachers call me the adult child because I was very mature for my age. I grew up in the foster care system, and my parents who adopted me from the system, they're in their 70s right now, you know. So, and all of my adoptive siblings were at least 10 years older than me. So I never got to experience what childhood was really like because all I really did was go to school and come home, and I was very, very sheltered.
Okay.
So I was angry a lot,
Okay.
truthfully, and I didn't know how to express that until I was in middle school, and I
Okay.
met a teacher who is still in my life to this day. He's like a father for me, and he introduced me to poetry. And once I started writing poetry, everything was just kind of like, that's it for me, right? So, I mean, a lot of my poetry was very angry, but I mean, I had to get it out somehow, right? Because I didn't really grow up feeling safe or feeling like I can talk to my family without being judged or you know, without feeling like I was wrong in how I felt. So I was very quiet and I was very angry. And then I grew up.
Okay.
You know?
Like, I know you, so then middle school, you would say poetry. I know at around 8 years old, you started acting.
I was introduced to acting.
Okay,
Yeah, when I was in elementary school, I was always at the top of my class. So there were advantages to being in the top class of every grade. Like, I had this drama coach come in, and she worked with our class, and she introduced us to a film, like the entire process of filmmaking, from screenwriting, photography, storyboards, auditioning. And like, I auditioned for the movie that we wrote, and I auditioned for a supporting role, and I got the lead.
Okay.
And then we filmed it and we showed it at like Lehman College's stage theater. And there were so many people in the audience, and it was the first time I ever saw myself on screen, and I fell in love with the entire process. And I knew from the very, like, that moment, like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And then, I kid you not, weeks later, Jennifer Lopez was outside my school filming Made in Manhattan.
Okay.
And I was just like, that is my idol, okay? I love me some J-Lo. She's just like the go-getter Puerto Rican from the Bronx, like limitless. You can do anything you want to do, you know?
That's right.
So, yeah.
That's dope. So, all right. So then, did you continue, acting?
So after, I did not continue until high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In high school, I worked with some more drama coaches and stuff like that. Did little things on stage. I wasn't allowed, again, grew up in a strict home, so I wasn't allowed to participate in a lot of activities, sadly, unfortunately, which is why I was so eager to get away for school.
Okay.
Because I needed to branch out. I tried having that conversation with my mom about balance, and I think that she was just so scared.
Okay.
You know, at the time I looked at it as, you're controlling me and you're not letting me do anything. And I know that she was just really trying to protect me, because all her other kids were just like either high school dropouts or got pregnant early, and that just wasn't the case for me.
Okay.
And so I went away for college, and then I majored in theater arts. I started filming again, started modeling after that, and like, just that's where I started to yeah.
So when can you say from poetry to like songwriting? When did that really?
Oh my God. Okay, so truthfully, it's so weird because I didn't think, I never wanted to be a singer. I always loved to sing.
Okay.
I never thought that my voice was good enough to sing, and I never really I never wrote full-on songs, just mini poems here and there. Sometimes I wrote a lot in prose. So I feel like with music, a lot of times it has to rhyme. You know, there has to be something that like really gets you like, oh, this is catchy, right? A lot of the times that's rhyme, that's rhythm. And it wasn't until like, honestly, last year where I started to write music. And it was because I had a friend, you know, the guy who produced Mejor, my first single. He was just like, I want you to like, you know, I want you to get on this track. And I'm like, bro, I don't sing. And he's like, yes, you do. And what's crazy is that I was in a musical right before that.
Okay.
And I was singing, but I was singing someone else's music, of course. I was singing Nina Simone. I was acting. I was dancing live. It was the first time I sang live in 10 years, because I did singing in high school.
Okay.
But when it came down to songwriting, I really just think that if I'm surrounded by the right energy and I'm influenced by it, I can write anything, right?
Okay.
It wasn't like, I want to be a songwriter. No. Yeah. It wasn't that at all.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, well, what is it that you do? And I'm like, I do anything and everything. You know, I believe in storytelling.
Okay.
And I don't think that there is limits to storytelling. And I love art. I just love creating. And so I can tell stories with music, with film, with photography, you know, and just on and on and on. And as long as there's a connection there, as long as there's relatability, and as long as there's passion behind it, then you can really do anything.
No, that's absolutely right. I'm a big believer, and I say there's a lot that passion is power.
Period.
You know, and as long as you apply your passion to this, anything is possible, you know. It's just the fire in you, you know. So it's dope that doesn't matter whether it was last year or 10 years ago, etc. You found you have your passion and you're going forward,
Yeah.
and that's dope. That's dope. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
At what point, since so basically in a nutshell, last year you started taking it full on seriously.
Mm-hmm.
For
For music.
Yes. At what point within your music career you started realizing like, oh shit, this is real?
When I started to, I guess, manage it.
Okay.
I don't have a manager, but as an artist, yes, I have to focus on the creativity, but as an entrepreneur, I have to make sure that I'm managing my business appropriately. So in researching and learning more about how music is put out there and really uploading on DistroKid and the single and promoting it and speaking to all these different people, that's when it was real for me.
Okay.
And then when I did the music video.
Okay.
Oh
yeah,
my
which
gosh.
you produced and directed.
I did
the
produce,
video.
yes, the video.
Yeah, yes.
And I had my co-producer and my co-creative director, Tariq, whom I literally cannot live without. Styled by Tariq forever. Styled by Tariq.
Dope.
But I think that working with creative geniuses who have no limits when it comes to imagination and inspiration, he and I work well together. It's like, this is the storyboard, this is the treatment, and I have experience writing treatments for music videos. I've worked with other artists before behind the scenes. So, just delivering that to him and being able to kind of work together and put together imagery that resonates with what I'm trying to go for and what I'm trying to represent is definitely cool.
Okay.
And that's what made it very real for me. Is we're going to take a trip, we're going to go to LA, we're going to film, and we're going to produce, and we're just going to get it done. No matter if COVID is killing people or not, but we're just going to get it done because art is something that people need. You cannot live without it.
That's true.
And it's crazy because I would promote my stuff on social media and I would get trolls commenting go get a real job. I'm tired of these artists trying to feed off of us. And it's like, bitch, can I say that? Bitch.
No, you can't fucking curse.
I wasn't pre-warned. But I'm not trying to feed off of anybody. What are you talking about? I got my own money and you can't survive a day without art.
Yeah.
Try going without television and music and let's see how you feel.
I mean, and I always tell people this, yo, that's good that you have that mindset because at the end of the day, people will always criticize, especially when you're that 2%er, which,
Yes.
you're that 2%er, you're that person to step out the box. So people like us who are entrepreneurs who just go for our dreams, and the fact that you have that tough skin. Now, can you say that was always in you, or you had to learn that a difficult way? Was that a lesson learned for you? Because I feel like not a lot of artists, once they come into this artistry, they don't know how to take constructive criticism right away. It's something that is
I think that growing up in the Bronx in a Latina home that was very, very reserved, I built tough skin.
Okay.
But I will definitely say in my training for acting, that's when I developed tougher skin.
Okay.
That's when I was able to take constructive criticism. I was able to take, some words and realize this is how I can apply and I can grow and I can adapt and I can change. And then also learning to just kind of accept no's. Okay, no is a no. No is a glass half empty, and I'm not going to focus on that because there's so many yeses available out there. I'm a glass half full kind of girl. I love to think and believe and just invite positive energy. So I think constructive criticism is great. But when it comes to tough skin, I'm just made that way.
Okay.
I don't let anything faze me unless it's really, really important to me.
Okay.
And I think someone told me, I had an acting teacher tell me, the artist in us is 2 years old and our ego is 16. And a lot of times when we respond, especially impulsively, that's our artist or our ego talking for us,
Yeah.
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 So, I mean, there's definitely been a journey in which over the last few years I've been learning a lot more to just kind of hone in on who I am and separate ego from myself. But, I mean, tough skin is great.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times, too, it's intimidating to people. They can see it. They can feel it.
It's a gift and a curse, in a sense, you know, especially in the industry in itself, entertainment, you know. As a woman involved in let's keep it 100, it's dominated by men.
Yes.
And there's constant judgment, you know. So, again, it is a gift and a curse. As a woman, you have to have that intimidation in a sense, only because people need to respect you. Yes. What I do appreciate with you is that, like you mentioned, that you appreciate, like, your sexuality. You know, like, you find the beauty in it.
Yes.
What I want to know is that how, like, having that beauty, you know, that beauty in the chaos, in a sense. I always tell people, like, there's always beauty in chaos. So with having, you know, embracing your sexuality, embracing yourself and putting it out there, dealing with men, how do you go about gaining that, like, standing strong with and earning that respect? Because I know I'm very much involved in this industry, and I've seen a lot. Yeah. And sometimes it can take a toll.
It can, and I've experienced it recently.
Okay.
In the music sphere.
Okay. Yes.
When it comes to modeling, because modeling was something I started doing when I was like 19.
Okay.
And that's how I found my, you know, my sexual power. That's how I found comfort in exhibitionism and just flaunting and just, you know, being unafraid and just being bold and being raw and being myself and, you know, not caring what other people think. But when it came to music, I found that there are a lot of people out there who are looking to take advantage of women and especially upcoming artists. And you know, I had a conversation with a music producer a few months ago about how it's very difficult to build relationships as a new artist, but as a female artist in this industry, because a lot of times producers are just playing games. Like, you know, like they want to kind of like tell you that they're going to make shit happen for you. And then they want to like, oh, let's schedule like studio session. And then turns out it's not a studio session. And it's like, oh, something happened with the studio and, you know, but I'm staying at this hotel. It's like, that's not what we doing. That's not what we doing. So that's an automatic cutoff for me.
Okay.
I have no problem cutting people off.
Okay.
Because I know that there's a billion other people who are ready and willing to work.
Okay.
And to put aside their personal feelings, right? I did work with a producer and I developed a really beautiful relationship with him, only to find out that he was kind of like working with me because he liked me so much. And even though it was very clear, I made it very clear, like, bro, I like you like my homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you my dog. Like, but it was like he was still like, no, I'm gonna still keep trying. trying.
Okay.
And then to the point where it was like, I got uncomfortable and I'm like, you know, I need you to know that you and I will never be a thing, because that doesn't seem, now I have to be mean about it.
Okay.
Right? So I have no problem being mean. I'm outspoken. I have a lot to say. I'm very opinionated. So if I have to shut people down, I will.
Okay.
Just like that.
I mean, that's a good, I'm glad that, you know, because again, I seen a lot of, listen, I'm not here to judge anybody, but you know, it happens. There's a lot of things that I've seen. And, you know, as a woman in the industry, everybody knows I'm gay, but yet you still have men still trying to, like,
yes, I'll turn you out and all of this, right?
Crazy, because it's like you have to be strong with your decisions. You know, you have to have that firm attitude and show them, like, I tell people, I'm like, if you don't respect me, you can't work with me.
Period.
You understand? That's just plain blank, period. That's how I am. You know, if you're going to violate, then I suggest that you should go somewhere else. You know, so I know with women, they get intimidated with that, and I I hate seeing a woman with talent getting discouraged.
Yes. It is discouraging.
It is, and it kills me. It bothers me. And I love when I see women going for it and they're doing it, and I'm like, yes, like, you know, go for it. Like, put your foot down, you know, and you know, continue striving, because people will try to take advantage of it.
Yeah,
you know, I
all the
know
time.
with you as an entrepreneur, you know, just an overall successful person. When did it hit you that you had to, like, because sometimes you have to let go of certain people when they're not growing with you?
Ooh, yeah.
So at what point in your career did you come to, like, having to, like, face a decision where you had to let go of certain people because they weren't at the same wavelength as you?
Yes. I feel like I did that through several stages of life.
Okay.
Right? When it came down to, like, me going away for college and me deciding to move out my parents' house.
Okay.
I made the conscious decision to let go of that side of my family because I knew that they were unhealthy and toxic for me.
Okay.
Right? So I guess I kind of started to have that practice in letting go of relationships that did not serve me.
Okay.
In the industry, I mean, it was so simple.
Okay.
It was very simple. It was like, I see you. I'm very observant, and I'm also an empath, so I feel energy from, like, miles away at times. And I intentions can be very clear without words being spoken.
Yeah.
And I have no problem just shutting that off, protecting my space. And yeah, it's not an issue.
Has it ever affected you? Like,
personally, never professionally.
Okay.
It's disappointing when you come across someone that you're, like, super, like, admiring them and their work, and you want to work with them, and then you just find out, like, oh, well, they're not that great of a person, right? But there's always the, again, glass half full mentality where it's like, I know that there's so many people out there that are just like, yo, like, I like your sound, or I like your style, or I like what you stand for, or I love your story, and let's work, you know? Recently I joined Clubhouse, and
how did you like it?
Bro, it's so addicting. I can't stop talking about it. I can't stop talking about it, but I'm listening and learning so much from people in the industry and connecting now, right?
You just gotta be careful, because certain people are not who they say they are. That's
I believe that, and I just came across that recently.
Yeah,
I just came across that recently.
It's definitely a dope platform.
Yeah. But I mean, it's discouraging when people say that they will deliver and they won't, because they're not in the capacity to do that. They don't have the capacity to do that. But I don't focus on everyone else, because if I do, then I'll never be able to get anything done for myself.
So what's your why as far as just a person of art?
Oh, damn. I mean, why? This is who I am.
Okay.
This is all I've ever envisioned. I know I have what it takes, and I have little baby family that look up to me.
Okay.
A niece and a nephew. You know, they call me superstar. My niece goes around saying, like, my aunt is an actress and she's famous and her song is out, and literally, like, that is just so heart-filling and generational wealth, and just combating stereotypes.
Okay.
You know, I've always refused to be just a regular girl from the Bronx that didn't make it out of it. Yeah. I aspire to be someone from the Bronx who made it out, but then made it out and gave back. Because I think that part is very important.
It is. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. You're gonna make it. It's just, you know,
I
it's
am
just a
making
matter.
it.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time and patience. But at the end of the day, you know, whatever it is, it's. I tell people, I'm like, yo, I don't believe in luck. You set your tone, you know, to where you are destined to be. You know, knowing that you are a woman who's done acting, modeling, you're an artist, also you went to school and you got your degree. When did you start realizing the importance of time management?
I'm laughing because it wasn't that long ago.
Really?
It really wasn't that long ago. I would get really overwhelmed with everything I was managing.
Okay.
And sometimes if I was focused on music, there were other things that I would do that would just kind of fall to the backside a little bit. So honestly, in starting a new business last month with like beauty and wellness, I realized, okay, time management is literally of the essence. I have to schedule everything. Okay. Otherwise, I won't get it done. When I was in college, I was in school full-time, working 2 jobs and had an internship. And if you looked at my schedule, it was so colorful because it was separated by my work and my school work and my classes or whatever.
Okay.
But everything was scheduled. Gym, showers, like everything was scheduled, and I functioned really well.
Okay.
At the time, I didn't have the mental capacity to deal with like mental illness and stuff like that, so I really suffered in that area. But now, because I prioritize my mental health and my spiritual well-being, I am now able to succeed in being productive in my avenues of work. It's just really about I try not to get overwhelmed. When you start thinking about everything and you let it all live up here, you're going to get overwhelmed and it's never going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? But when you start to write it down and you start to schedule it and you mind map, and then
it becomes real.
Moment by moment, day by day.
No, you're right about that. I'm constantly telling so many people, like, write it out. I will say, I have to admit, I am a little bit unorganized.
That's okay.
But, yeah, everybody works their own way. I'm learning how to, write certain things in the calendar now, because, yes, I just like you, I was getting overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And it can be very overwhelming.
Right.
Especially
when we want more.
Yeah.
Right? You want more, and then it's like more is coming, more is coming. You invited that for that space to just come and be filled. And then it's like, okay, but am I able to manage it, right? I always feel like every time, like every phase in life, we're growing from something and learning something. Not only are we learning something, now we have to see, like, Spirit tests us. Can she handle it? Can she handle it? All right, we're going to give her some more. Can she handle that? Can she handle that? And then if you fall because you revert back to what you know, your comfort space, right? Then you kind of mess yourself up. But again, moment by moment, step by step.
I know you mentioned mental health. I know with 2020, with the pandemic, it affected a lot of people. How did you get affected by the pandemic?
I was really sad for people who were losing their lives.
Okay.
I was also really upset because I had a lot of film work scheduled for me.
Okay.
So I did not know what to do when it came to money with COVID shutting everything down.
Okay.
Like, my livelihood was working on set. So I went months without an income, feeding off my savings, losing my mind, and just kind of like absorbing the news. And then I realized I can't do this. I can observe, but I can't absorb. Okay. Right? Because now I'm not able to function as the creative I am. So I had to just shut the news off. I had to completely, just detach from politics. And it's crazy because it's such a political country, but detaching from that completely gave me my peace. Okay. With that peace, it was like, if it disrupts my peace, it's not worth it, right? So I was able to just hone in more on natural healing, right? Okay. I used to suffer from depression and anxiety. Okay. I've also been diagnosed with like bipolar depression or borderline personality disorder. I used to take Paxil, which was like a 2-in-1 med for anxiety and depression. Okay. I took that for some time, and then months ago, I just stopped taking it. I am now like, I just kind of like,
Are you going like towards the holistic route?
oh, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I learned so much about Earth's medicines. And that's why I'm like, I don't need this, you know? And also waking up in 2020, realizing I don't live in the world that I thought I lived in, the world that I was told that I lived in, right? And I don't want to get really political here, but like seeing how everything is connected really allowed me to go, I'm good, love.
Yeah.
You know, con Dios and Mama Earth.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Exactly.
I take my teas.
Good.
Sea moss, ashwanda, elderberry. You know, like you go on and on and on. I read a lot now. I'm also like really, really big on self-development. If I can't, so I wake up every morning and I do my meditations and my affirmations.
Okay.
I try to get like a workout in, whether it's lifting or yoga or something to get my body moving, because I know that without exercise, I can't be right up here.
Okay.
And it's super, super necessary for me to, if I'm not leaning on a pill, I have to be very diligent with my regimen so that I'm good. Because if I'm not good, I can't show up for anyone else. And as an artist, it's my job to serve. And it's my job to show up.
That's true.
So,
that's right.
Yeah, really, really big on mental health. I do feel like medicine is something that I'm not necessarily against. If it works for you, it works for you. I just think that there are natural ways around a lot of mental illnesses, and I don't believe in claiming something that doesn't serve you, because the more you claim it, the harder it is to exit from that lifestyle. If you constantly say, I suffer from depression, well, you're going to be depressed every day.
Yeah. There's a book. Have you heard of Louise Hayes?
I've heard of Louise Hayes, but I've never
she has
read.
a book. She's an older woman. I'm not sure if she passed away or not, so don't quote me on that. But she has a book. It's called You Can Heal Yourself. And basically, like she mentioned in the books, like, mind you, she was a doctor as well, but she went the holistic route. And she was very big in the 80s. She cured herself from cancer.
Wow.
So that book, she indicates, like, if you put something in your mind, if you have, I don't know, just a particular disease, you're going to have that disease.
Yep.
I mean, you have to do your affirmations. You have to put in the work. People think it's easy, too. Like, oh, let me just take sea moss, like you mentioned, and then that's it. No, you have to put in the work.
Yes.
You have to prepare your body, your mind, body, and soul, for all of this. Great book. You should look into it. But I, like with what you're saying, I'm a big believer. I believe in holistic medication and coming from a very big spiritual background as well, So super dope to hear you say that. Now, I wanted to ask you, because I know you're vegan, plant-based. I love that you put plant-based, because I hear people are vegan, but then they're consuming so much processed food.
Yeah. Okay, well,
I'm pescatarian, though. I'm not vegan. I'm pescatarian, but did you become vegan like recently, or this has been a lifestyle of yours?
I became vegan in 2017.
Okay.
So literally, I've always been an all or nothing kind of girl, black or white, no gray, no in between, right?
Yeah.
And I grew up, Latinas, like rice, beans, chicken, pork chops, like all of it, right? I watched What the Health one night, and I said, I am never eating any of this again. And literally, I starved the next day.
Okay.
But it pushed me, because I was like, okay, now I'm here researching recipes, plant-based alternatives to what I normally eat, right? And for quite some time, I would say for like 6 months, I did eat a lot of processed vegan food. Gardein, frozen, packaged shit, like, and then it wasn't until like a year later I started learning more about the raw foods and just like, just like all of the vitamins you can get from just sweet potatoes and just all of these other, plant-based foods. So I've definitely become a lot more like, I would say diligent over the last year with my plant-based diet. Eggs was very hard to give up. Cheese at first was very hard to give up. Now I I don't eat cheese.
Okay.
I don't eat eggs anymore. Yeah. I mean,
That's
sometimes
dope.
I miss like oysters and
Okay. That's my thing. I'm a
and
seafood
lobster
person. Yes.
tails, you know, and then like
Do you start? Let me ask you this question. Do you start realizing you're missing this when you're going through something emotional? I'm only asking this because for me, I crave chicken when I'm going through something emotional.
No.
No?
I've never had a direct correlation with food and emotions.
Okay.
If anything, like if I'm emotional, I won't eat.
Okay. I'm the opposite.
Right? Yeah, well,
I'm an emotional eater.
I used to turn to alcohol actually when I would be emotional. But no, I think that I just randomly would get a craving. Like, I want oysters today.
Okay.
Or I want orange soda today. Like, you know, like super, super random.
Okay.
But yeah, that's really it.
So, how did you go about your health and beauty business?
Okay, so you know what's crazy is that this company I work for, they get a bad rep because of like all of these videos online and stuff and a lawsuit. But then I'm like, what brand hasn't had a lawsuit? You know? But I came across Modern Nature, otherwise known as Monet.
Okay.
A good year ago.
Okay.
And I'm always someone who needs to observe before I get my feet wet.
Okay.
I'm a Cancer. Like I'm a peek out my little shell before I fully come out. And I started seeing videos online and stuff like that, like social media. It was the science experiments that got me because I'm low key a little nerd.
Okay.
And then I started seeing like comparing videos, like how our stuff just wouldn't like blow up like other hairsprays or, you know, just the beauty in it. Right. Never in a million years did I like think I would be selling shampoo or a facial cleanser. But I came across this woman on Nature, and I felt like was just an angel. She found me on the Hood Healers Live one day and started following me, and we just started kicking it like organically, genuinely. She's also very multidimensional, which I love. Like I don't have connections with surface level folk. Like I'm a very deep person, and I can only have deep connections with people. So I was developing that, and she kept promoting these products. I'm like, what is this? I was already using a vegan shampoo, but it was drying out my hair. And so I was like, all right, boom, I want to try this. Like, I was like, all right, she told me about it. I wanted to try it. I had worked a candle ritual one new moon in November.
Okay.
And this was a low point in my life. I was just like, I don't know what to do anymore. Cleanse me of everything that has been holding me back. Purify me. Like, I get in my own way. I've gotten complacent. I've gotten comfortable in bed. Maybe I smoked too much weed. Like, whatever it is, cleanse me. Give me discipline. But also invite that prosperity. And I kid you not, like a week later, I was enrolled in acting classes again. I was learning so much more about my craft. And then the opportunity showed itself to me again. And it was divine timing. And I trusted because I am connected to source. I do my work so that I don't doubt my intuition. How many times have we gone out when we don't want to go out, and then it's just like we see signs, and then by the end of the night you're like, shit, I should have just stayed home because you had those signs. That was your intuition telling you, bitch, calm down.
Yeah.
My intuition told me this was it, and it resonated with me because it is a Latino owned brand. It is plant-based. It is not just vegan. It's Sleeping Bunny approved. It's so many different things that I believe in. So it's not just good for me and my crown and other people, but it's also serving the planet. And I'm really, really big on doing as much as we can to serve the planet that has so graciously served us for billions of years. So,
well, you just doing a lot.
Yeah, we're doing a lot.
I mean, that's not a bad thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing because it allows me to connect with other humans organically and learn more about them. And also, it's kind of full circle because when I graduated high school, I graduated with a license in cosmetology.
Oh, so look, bang.
Yes. So I learned about hair and skin and beauty and all of that. After that, I worked for Bobby Brown Cosmetics. After that, I was working in a nail salon. I've done a lot of different jobs, but this for me was kind of full circle. Okay. And on top of that, our comp plan is beautiful.
That's dope. I mean, dope. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I'm glad you are in a better space because, like you mentioned, and Yo, more power to you with that. I want to definitely like go back into your music video, because I know you mentioned you were part of the creative directions towards it. You know, directed as a director, should I say? Did you? So you were part of the treatment
Everything.
and everything.
I
Like
wrote the treatment.
how really you wrote the whole thing yourself?
Yes, I wrote the treatment.
Okay.
I presented it to Tariq.
Okay.
We talked about like clothes and stuff that would fit the aesthetic of the treatment.
Okay.
I presented it to the DP, the film, the camera guy, Tyler, and we talked about what we wanted to do, and we were also very limited with time based off of our budget as well. Like I was using my money out of my pocket, and as a new artist, you're really not working with much. It isn't until you're like signed with a label or someone really vast and like invest in you that you've got it.
Is that something you would look forward to doing, like
being signed?
Yeah. Or would you want?
Truthfully, I don't really care for labels because I love having control. I'm a rising Virgo.
Yeah.
I love having control over my work.
Okay.
I love having the rights to my work.
Yeah.
I'm also not interested in being molded to fit a specific aesthetic to succeed in this industry.
Okay.
And I've had conversations with industry professionals, and they're like, unfortunately, that is kind of the business. Like, we invest, and then you've got this team of people, which are dope. Like, I'm all for a team, but I want to have the rights to my own music. I want to have creative control. I don't want to be told what to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's bittersweet when it comes down to labels. I'm not hungry for it.
Yeah.
But I am definitely hungry for the right team.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So have you started working on the right team right now? Like who would?
Yeah.
So,
I got my loyal Tariq.
Yeah, you have Tariq.
I have Tariq. I have Janae.
Yes.
I have...
well, shout out to Janae.
Yes, I love Janae.
Yes.
Did you know we went to school together?
No, I did not.
Yeah, we were at PR majors.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I have Janae. I have a go-to photographer in New York City.
Okay.
We've been working together since I was 21, I think.
Okay.
That's all I have right now. And I have a really solid support team.
Okay.
So, like, I'm not limited when it comes to resources. I've spent a lot of years building a beautiful foundation of community in different areas of my life. So I struggled with asking for help.
Okay.
But now I'm kind of getting more used to just saying, hey, I need help with this. Are you able to assist me, or can you point me in the right direction to someone who can assist me with this? So definitely that. But yeah, it's kind of hard to just trust people.
Okay.
Also, a lot of people, like, I'm very picky with who I work with. You have to have passion.
Yeah.
You have to have a vision. And you have to be so hungry that you are willing to, like, sacrifice a few things in order to get the job done. Because that's the kind of artist I am. And if you are an artist in your craft, whatever that craft may be, I expect the same energy.
I mean, I don't blame you. Yeah. I'm the same way. Like, I'm super picky when it comes to, like, with certain people I work with.
Yes.
I'm very big on energy.
Yes.
So, like, and if your energy is off, I'm like, deuces.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, yeah, I can't.
Love and light.
Yeah, like, but I get it. I want to know, with your single, how was your writing process with that? Like, and how long did it take you to, like...
So I started writing the song in English.
Really?
Yes. I have never written a Spanish song in my life. But I grew up listening to Spanish music, of course, with my parents. But I never wrote a song in Spanish. And then, so my boy Haas, he was like, oh, we're going to hang out, invited another producer. He had a home studio. So we were hanging out, and he was just like, all right, guys, let's create a song. What do you want? And I was like, it was summertime.
Okay.
So I was like, yo, we should do some Latin fire urban, like, like just something hot like that. So, like, people on Dykeman can vibe.
Okay.
And, my community can just rock with. And so the producer started building a beat. Hasiel just started, like, freestyling off the dome. And I'm here with my phone writing lyrics. And then I started to show it to them. I started to, like, spit it to them. And then it started turning into Spanish, and they're like, yo, you got to finish this in Spanish. Like, write the whole thing in Spanish.
Okay.
So I was like, what? All right. It took me 2 whole sessions to finish the whole song.
Oh, wow.
In terms of writing it.
Did you find it when recording it? Was it difficult? Like, can you speak Spanish? Like, I was told it doesn't matter whether you speak it or not. Like, as long,
I mean, remember Selena?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like.
I would say that I'm about 75% fluent in speaking Spanish.
Okay.
I used to be a lot more fluent, but obviously when you practice less, you get a little rusty. So I don't have an issue speaking it.
Okay, so
I can converse.
Musically, how was that?
It was interesting. It was interesting. And I have a lot of, like, producers and stuff tell me, like, you need to stay in this area. And I'm still trying to figure out my sound.
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure out, do I want to keep making Spanish music? I believe that you should just make whatever music you want to make.
Yeah.
Right? But a lot of times when you are published as an artist, people they want to box you. I mean, this whole country is built off of categories and labels.
Yeah.
So, it's just struggling in that area, but I've been advised, like, this is the market for you. Okay. You fit this market perfectly. But then at the same time, I'm like, but I love R&B and I love SZA and I love, all of these other types of music that I want to still be able to create. And also, my voice is very versatile. So, like, I feel like this song was definitely, like, performed in my speaking voice. But if I wanted to perform in a soprano, like, I grew up with musicals. Okay. Like, that, like, I want to be able to range. I want to be able to.
You want to show people your talent, like your vocal skills.
Yes.
I mean, listen, don't ever put yourself in a box, but it has to make sense. Like, I know you're still trying to figure out your sound, but more or less as an artist, what's your goal? Like, like, do you want to hit the pop charts? Do you, like you said, you have to write it all out and manifest it. So you as a singer, I guess for me, I would have to let like, just write it out. Like, what type of artist you, like, where is it that you want to reach? Like, as far as, like, your fan base, like, who you want to reach, and just be realistic with everything in itself. I think, me personally, you shouldn't put yourself in a box. I feel like it'll be ideal for you to hit both, because R&B is not dead. I hate when I hear people say it's not dead. It's not dead. Like, stop. It's not dead. It's very much alive. There's a lot of dope, talented artists out there, but also the Latin scene it's popping right now too. Like, it's actually, like, what, top 5, I would say. Right. You have a lot of non-Spanish artists creating Spanish music because it's super hot and trendy. But I think what's great about music and its progression right now is that you can blend any language in any genre and it can work. Yeah. Like Blackpink, K-pop, right? You got Rosalia making music with Travis Scott. This is like blending a bunch of different backgrounds together, and I think that that's what's really, really dope. Also, like, America is a melting pot, so yeah, definitely. I've never been one to categorize myself. I don't believe in labels. I don't believe in boxes, because I think that comes from being restricted growing up. So I'm such a free bird that I just want to keep spreading my wings. And when it comes to music, being a charting artist is lovely. It's nice. Obviously, there are benefits to that, but that's not the goal for me. The goal is just to continue to create what makes me feel good, that will also inspire others and also provoke emotion. If I can provoke emotion, I've done my job. When I released my single, I saw this girl on Instagram dancing to my song, and she was in Mexico, I think. Oh, wow. And I was just like, what? That's dope. That is so beautiful, right? Like, because there's that shame and the doubt that will trickle in and say, like, you're not good enough, or, okay, you made one song, anyone can make music, right? It's what you do with it that is going to determine how far you go. Yeah. So like I said, I almost said no to this. Why?
Because I haven't been active musically over
Okay.
the last few months. I've been more active with acting and film and my new business. But then I was like, that no is literally just the complacency and the comfort and the fear. And it's time to get back in.
Okay.
That's so I'm thankful that you reached out, and I'm thankful, you know, that I'm here today, because sometimes you just need a little push.
Yeah.
You know?
Do. And look at you're here now, we're rocking out, and then a lot of people are gonna see you and grow. You understand? Like, people are watching you, and I was doing my research and I was going to your page, and people are literally watching you. Do you know that, right?
Yeah.
So, like, stop getting comfortable. Listen, I just met you, but don't make me drop kick you.
I know. I know. And there is no growth in comfort. You've got to get uncomfortable if you want to grow.
No, you definitely do. So I know we're going to have her perform, but I want to know, are you dropping an album or are you going to do singles?
There is beauty in album work. Like, I feel like a lot of people put out singles to keep the momentum going. And I do plan on doing that, but I do plan on building a body of work.
Okay.
I have been writing songs in my notebook and on my phone, and a lot of my work is inspired by my life. So, you know, there was a period of time where I was going through a lot with my partner, and we separated for a few months, and I was going off the rails. I mean, like, up and down. I didn't know what was going on. Just a year of confusion, and I wrote a lot. And truthfully, some of the best work is a body of art that reflects someone's phase in life. And the phases are just so relatable and so common. As much as sometimes you think you're alone in experiencing this, you just aren't.
Yeah.
You know, like Summer Walker, like, I think she's amazing and her music is amazing. And I definitely just feel like that, you know, I kind of have to surround myself again with the right team to make it happen. But it will happen.
No, it will.
It will happen.
It will.
And I can't wait for that to happen.
That's dope. Well, I wish you the best with everything you're accomplishing, and, you know, just keep going, keep striving, you know. I love seeing women in the industry succeeding, because it's so dominated by so many men, you know. And I'm surrounded in the music field, you know, especially that I am very much involved with, like, hip hop, you know.
Yeah.
So whenever I see you know, another individual, a woman in a sense, like, and she's just doing her thing, like, I applaud it. Because, and another thing is that in this industry there's a lot of it's not hate, but it's just the fact that they like to implement, like, other women to go against one another.
Yes.
And
what is up with that? Can we stop? Like, you do not need to dim someone else's light to shine, baby girl. Like, whoever tells you that, just completely ignore it. Like, you are a star. I am a star. You are a star.
Exactly.
We can all shine together.
It don't make sense.
It's not a competition. The only competition is your old self. That is it.
No, and that's a
That is
fact.
it.
And that's definitely a fact, man. I want to just say thank you. Thank you for taking the time being here. Thank you for changing that no into a yes, you know. You turn that negative into a positive, you know?
Yes, thank you.
And where can we find your music? Where can we find you just overall your social media platform?
So all my social media platforms are under Aurea G Official. That's spelled AUREA G Official. My website is aureaofficial.com. And, I mean, I'm on all streaming platforms except Bandcamp and SoundCloud.
Okay.
But yeah, under Aurea G. My name is Aurea, but again, a lot of people do struggle with Aurea, so Aurea G is the wave.
Before we go, one more question.
Yeah.
Where did you get Definition Desire?
Ooh. So, honestly, I was obsessed with alliteration.
Okay.
And do you remember AIM?
Yes.
AOL Instant Messaging. So my AOL Instant Messaging name was Definition Desire. And when I finally cracked and made an Instagram, I just made a Definition Desire. And then because I started out as a model, that tag grew into something that was very sensual. But over time, definition desire has become, the definition really is, I am the definition of all things that I desire, because everything that I want, I already own.
Boom. And that's how you end the motherfucking show, kid.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Y'all already know the vibes, man. You're about to watch your girl perform her single, Mejor. All right? Y'all already know all her information will be below. There's no reason why you cannot follow her. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's been showing nothing but love, liking, commenting, all that information, all that good stuff. All right? So love you guys, and peace. We're out.
Bye.
Come here, baby. Papi, ven aquí si tú quieres venir. Créame cuando digo que te vas a sentir. Papi, ven aquí si tú quieres venir. Créame cuando digo que te vas a sentir mejor. 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 Y quiero fumar, beberte entero, amarme de atrás. Quítate la ropa, tírate por la cama, mi nombre tú gritas cuando me hablas. Tócame por dentro, lléname entero, besarme muy fuerte, coño te quiero. Nadie como tú, nadie como yo, la noche más rica, coño te lo juro. Papi, ven aquí si tú quieres venir. Créame cuando digo que te vas a sentir. Papi, ven aquí si tú quieres venir. Créame cuando digo que te vas a sentir mejor. 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 Te gusta picante, no puedes calmarte. Dale duro, papi, fuego, amarme. No pares, amor, no pares, no pares. La ropa tira por todas las partes. Dime ahora qué piensas de mí. Mojado después de venir conmigo. Cuando quieres más, me vas a llamar. Mi cuerpo sabroso aquí. Aquí estoy contigo. Aquí estoy contigo. Papi, ven aquí si tú quieres venir. Créame cuando digo que te vas a sentir. Papi, ven aquí si tú quieres venir. Créame cuando digo que te vas a sentir mejor. 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 Aquí estoy contigo. Mejor. Claro que sí.
The Artistry.
Catch us on YouTube, Facebook, or outlets.
Follow us, The Artistry NY.